Radio 8.
Here comes!
Hey, run that thing up.
Radio 8.
What's good, everybody? Sorry for the late delay, but welcome to an episode of the Grade A Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Musa, and I got my guy Ty with me. How you doing today, man?
What up? What up?
Yeah, we down one from the bloodline, but we're gonna keep the show going nonetheless. We're gonna talk about the recent shows this week, last week, kind of combine everything, and we're gonna talk about the TNA Sacrifice pay-per-view, give our recaps and thoughts on that as well. And we got some trivia. We're going to try to see if we can guess all the WrestleMania main events. There's 91 up until this point. Actually, let me make sure I double check. I think we're going up to WrestleMania 37. Nope, 38. So we don't got to worry about the last two WrestleManias. Because that would be, an extra 4, I believe.
Damn.
So, yeah, and those will probably be the most easiest to remember. Then we got a little trivia we're going to do as well. So, if you're watching, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, let us know your thoughts on the channel and what you want to see also on the channel as well. So, fix this camera. Ty, man, we're going to start off with this week's SmackDown, which is in Italy, so it just aired for most people. We would talk about the highlights earlier in the show. I don't know if you caught the ending of the show, but we had pretty much a brawl between Roman, Seth, and CM Punk. And they each, I guess, got a chance to point at the WrestleMania sign. So it's looking like that's a pretty obvious triple threat match, just depending on what they're going to do, whether it's night 1 or 2. But what's your thoughts overall so far on the build?
Especially to that match, I mean, we pretty much saw it coming. Like I said, there was only 2 routes for CM Punk, especially. It was either he was going to win the Chamber and be that guy, with The Rock to face Cody, or he was going to be in this triple threat. I mean, this is a big match. You know, when you think of WrestleMania, you think of big matches. This is a big match. And I understand why they're doing it. I would prefer all single one of these people do something different this year. Seeing the way storylines were going, but I mean, it's a good build. I like it. I especially, like I said, we'll see. Like you said, pretty much. We just got to see where they're gonna place this. Like, how big are we gonna take this match? Because if this match is like a night 1 opener, like, okay, whatever. If this is the main event, I feel like this is going to be something big, because they got to end the night pretty big on a high note. So then we'll see some like big, dramatic finish, something bigger that no one's expecting. But I think it's a good build overall.
Yeah, I agree. To everything you just said, that was going to be my next question was, do you believe this will be a main event or opener? To your point, though, it's looking like a night 1 main event, because I just don't see them not having Cena and Rhodes main event, either night 1 or 2. I think they're probably going to lean towards night 2, considering Cena having the last Mania main event of his career, Rhodes being the biggest face in the company. So I believe if I was a better dollar on this, Cena, Rhodes main event is night 2, to end off the weekend. You have Punk, Rollins, Reigns main event night 1. You then have Bianca, Io, and Rhea open up night 2, like you had Rhea and Becky open up last year's Mania, and in night 1 you have Tiffy and possibly Charlotte open it up. But then again, I can see them putting that in the middle of the card based on the build up and hype up, and have Jay and Gunther open up night 1 to give Jay his big moment to start off the show to get everybody riled up. So that's what my mind is at. Triple H, if you go off of this, I need my royalty check for this. But
well, that's if they even given Jay the belt.
I think
I
let's hop into that. You don't know? You don't think Gunther's? You think Gunther's going to retain?
The thing is, I feel like if they were the main event, the moment he wins it would mean more, in my opinion. So if he wins it on the opener, especially because you grow up Royal Rumble winners main event WrestleMania, So I feel like it's disrespectful to put him in the open match and just giving him the title, in my opinion. And I think they will give it to him, but they can go either way with this. But it kind of would make sense because you get a baby face world champion night 1. Then I think Cena is taking that belt off of Cody, so you get the Hill champion night 2. So I can see that.
Yeah, before I touch on the Cena component, as far as the Rumble, I mean, the last few years, if you look at it, the last 5-6 years, the Rumble winners hasn't really technically always main evented, which I think they need to change that mantra. Like, if you're not going to have the main event, the Rumble, despite how you're building this properly, which is also to their detriment, because if you're going to keep this mantra, the winner of the Royal Rumble main events WrestleMania, then you need to make sure whoever you're choosing to put in that spot to win the Rumble has a proper build where fans will be invested in going into Mania, so it can feel like an actual main event. And the last few years, they haven't really done that, especially when you add the component that now you not only have the men's Rumble, you have the women's now. So, and you have 2 nights. So it's really not an excuse not to have at least one of the women main event one night and the men main event night 2, which I think would be the most logical thing to do. But they haven't gone with that plan because the last few years, especially with the whole Bloodline story being kind of the heavyweight of the last 5 years. So, as far as the main event goes with Cena and Rhodes, I think we have a reaction. It won't be the same because obviously he's already Hill, but I think you have a reaction similar to what you had with Austin in 01 against, not 01, was it 01? Yeah, it was 01 against The Rock at 17, WrestleMania 17. So, but I keep hearing these rumblings that Austin might pop out at Mania to help Cody kind of give that special feel like they did last year, which, to unpopular opinion, everyone loved last year's main event. One of the best main events people have been saying. I like WrestleMania 39's main event better than WrestleMania 40. I think all the extra antics with Taker, Cena, all that was not really needed, in my opinion, but it wasn't bad. But I didn't think you really needed it to sell the match and have them have like a straight match. But all in all, it worked out considering your storyline you're telling now. This year's Mania with Rollins and Reigns. So in hindsight, it worked. But I feel like, what if Austin, to my main point, goes out to 2, helps Cody, and then he also turns and goes heel with The Rock and Cena? Like, could you imagine that reaction in Vegas?
Honestly, now that you say that, that would be crazy. Because pretty much, like, when you think of the big names of all time, you think of Austin, you think of Rock, you think of Hogan, you think of Cena. So, like, you feel me? If it's a deeper storyline of Cody Rhodes not being accepted by legends, I'm kind of rocking with that. But I do agree to your point with last year's main event, way overbooked. If he was going to be Roman, he should have beat him without all that.
The only nice part was, I'm going to let you finish. And I,
One time would be enough because obviously you want to call back the previous main event with Solo coming. So if Solo came out and one person came out, whether it be Cena, Austin, whoever, and just fought off that, then Cody won, that would have been perfect. But to have that whole back and forth, nah, that was something. Yeah,
yeah,
that was
like, don't
something.
get me wrong. Some parts of it was like dope. It made sense. Like Solo helping out Roman, of course. Cena coming out, which also tells another layer to the story with Cena and Rose going into this Mania, coming out perfect. The Rock and Cena had the history as to this main event, perfect. Taker coming out, it was just like, okay, I get it because you couldn't get Austin. But I mean, you didn't really need it, to be honest. You could have had, despite him being on one leg, and I still give him credit, he was the MVP of the weekend. So you could have had Steph try to muscle up enough to get the chair shot on Rock or something. I don't know. But all in all, most people might not agree. I personally think 39 was the better main event between the two. But again, if people have 40, I'm not mad at it because the match itself wasn't bad. I just think the extras to your point you just made just kind of took away from it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for what we got for the main events. Who you think right now? Too early to call prediction. Who wins the 3-way? I don't see Roman losing.
But that's why I'm saying. So I feel like if they make it the main event, it has to be, we have to end on a crazy note to get people talking, get people wanting night two. So I feel where this is where Paul Heyman gets involved.
Okay, now you're thinking what I'm
You
thinking.
know,
Okay.
so he gets involved. I would love to see him turn. Realistically, if there was one person on the roster, I want him to be Braun Breaker because literally just them standing side by side is going to make you think of Brock Lesnar, and that's already going to sell everyone.
I'm not even gonna lie. Down the line, too, someone else I think he will be good with, especially because they failed with doing it with Oscar. When Julia gets called up, just have Paul. Like we haven't seen Paul manage a female recently, and someone with Julia's caliber, how they gonna try to push her character-wise, I think that would be perfect. And it's something that you kind of redeem yourself with, as I mentioned, with what they didn't do with Oscar, especially with the dominant reign that she had going into the main roster and winning the Rumble. Then you flop it with her losing that one of the worst WrestleManias ever, by the way. But
yeah, that whole WrestleMania itself is pretty.
And it was so bad because they made all the wrong decisions. Literally, if they just flipped the decisions, it probably would have been a better Mania outcome. But so your main point though, I agree. I was going to say I want Seth to win because I think he deserves his just due. But if you're trying to tell a long story booking, which is what Triple H has been known to do since he really took over, that favor will be Punk rejoining. I mean, all rejoining Punk. And Reigns lose, and how they can set it up right is the three. There's a spot in the ring where they're all three in there. Punk gets hit out the ring, whatever, or gets knocked out. Roman again, and go if you could play back onto 40 WrestleMania 40. Roman, because it's going to be a no DQ because it's a 3-way match, I assume. He has a chair or whatever, or he just has to stand in the middle ring between Punk and Rollins. He has to decide. And that same reason how he lost the belt is going to be the same reason how he loses the match and gets the pin. Eats the pin, actually. He goes after Rollins. Paul costs him the match. Punk turns heel and wins Night 1 Mania 1. And that sets the feud up for the summer with Punk and Reigns. And then you can still do something with Rollins in the back end, whatever you want to do, depending on how you do this draft after Mania. And who knows, possibly Bronson Reed is healthy and back in time by summertime. Let's say July, right before SummerSlam. And you could pick right back up with him and Rollins where they left off. I think that was a money-making feud right there. That's what elevated Bronson, was how Rollins sold that whole Tsunamis slam. So that's some kind of my thought process with it all. But we can move on if you have anything else we could touch on.
we can move on.
Another thing they roughly touched on. I didn't watch the match, but the Street Profits got their new theme song.
Yeah, that new music.
It was the theme song they had in first of all, they had it in 2K. And I think it was the theme they had with Lashley with the Pride. I'm not really feeling it. I think they could have just kept the old song, honestly.
That's that rebel music.
The song's not a bad song. I just feel like if you don't use it, you could have mixed it a little bit, make it more a little bit more fresh. That was one of the few times the Italy crowd was quiet, and I didn't blame them because I was quiet watching. I was like, I'm waiting for the beat to actually drop, and I know the song, so I was like, okay, this is not like if it wasn't for Montez, they would never got hyped because he started getting hype, and everyone else fed off that energy. But I just love the whole new look overall. I can take the L on the theme song because it ain't that bad. They have some bad theme songs on the main roster that shouldn't even be licensed, to be honest. But I could take the L on that one. One of the bigger things from this show that we're going to talk about, Solo and Tamatonga, mostly Solo, realistically cost Jacob the match tonight against Braun Strowman, which now next week we have LA Knight versus Braun Strowman for the U.S. title, which probably be in a DQ, I'm assuming. Because they're going to keep telling the story with Jacob and Solo and Braun for a little bit. Jacob blew up on Solo after the match backstage, verbally. He didn't put hands on him yet. We're waiting for that moment to come. But he basically gave him the fair warning, like, yo, stay out of my business, or you got to come see me. And Tamatonga's in the middle, kind of like lost in the shuffle, but at the same time, we know his loyalty resides with Jacob. So what's your thoughts on this? I think they're doing a really good job slow cooking this story because it's definitely going to be on the media card. But overall, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm surprised you said slow cooking, because it's going to be on the Mania card. I feel like this should get a good develop. I think it should be a bigger story, that it will be. But give it 2 weeks tops, Jacob and them's turning on him. It's there. Solo, no pun intended, has been pretty much flying solo. So like, there's gonna be a point where pretty much how I see it, I can probably see Jay being drafted separately and probably with Fatu and Tama in them. Then I think like Roman, Jimmy, Solo are gonna be on the separate brand.
So it's funny you say that because I can actually see, to your point, what you just said, Fatu and the Tongans on SmackDown. Unless the bosses want to put them on Netflix on Raw because they're gonna bring in more views, whatever. I can see them being as a collective and just running red shot on whichever brand they're on. And then I can see Solo kind of being Solo, like you said, on opposite brand. And you could have a small feud with him in the mid card or possibly with Jay, because I feel like Jay's going to win at Mania. But and then that leaves Jimmy. I think Jimmy's doing perfectly fine on SmackDown. I think they need to keep him there because they definitely need people in the mid card for that U.S. title. He'll fit right along post Mania. And it's been rumored that they officially have signed Rey Fenix to WWE, and he's looking like he's going to be on SmackDown, which I know you disagree with, and I disagree with it too.
I mean, I don't disagree with it. I'm just saying you signed the Lucha Brothers, and you're gonna give them the singles run. This is why a lot of people didn't like AEW and how they were booked. Because they weren't booked as the Lucha Brothers together. They were always doing something separately. The only thing they were doing together were trios matches. But that clearly means they're high on both of them.
Yeah. They want to put that audience in also, the Latin audience, the Mexican culture, especially with it's rumored that Well, no, Backlash will not be in Mexico this year. I think that already came out. It's going to be St. Louis. But I know at some point this calendar year they will do a show in Mexico. So I think they're trying to just pull the different fans in. I think it'll be good for both of them to have their own identity first. Because you go, it's going to be so easy to just put them together in the tag team. I think that's going to be easy to do for them to write. So have them start off separate. I think that's great because Ray is definitely needed on the SmackDown brand for the mid card. He will be perfect for that mid card title. And then you're doing the same with Penta with the IC belt. And then you still got Aleister Black in the fold, which I think he's probably going to be on SmackDown too, considering that's where Zelina Vega, I think, is at. They be moving all over the place now, so I'd be lost. But wherever Zelina's at, he's going to be at more than likely, kind of how they did Montez, Bianca, so on and so forth with other couples on the brands. Except for Ludwig. I just realized Ludwig and Tiffy's actually on separate brands. That's the only outlier. But yeah, I'm happy that Ray's on the brand. I wasn't surprised by this, honestly. I can't wait to see how they're gonna book him on SmackDown. I heard that WWE is looking for new producers and writers. They have been looking for some and trying to hire some. So as long as it's not Vince Russo, we good. But
they could only deal with so much weeks with Road Dogg. They're like, we need some more.
I have to look into it because since he's been there, outside of that terrible week of SmackDown we talked about a few episodes back, I gotta see what else he's been like having his hands on, because he might have his hands on some spots where it's actually probably the biggest bright spots of the show. Whoever's booking the tag team division on SmackDown has been doing phenomenal. But all in all, I think this was a good SmackDown, a good show to lead up to the end of the weekend off and go into next week. There was something else on the show that I want to touch base on. Oh yes, Jade Cargill takes her first singles pin defeat to Liv Morgan, and I think this is huge because that just tells you much more. I think Jade can eat the pin and not be hurt by this, and it also tells me how high they are on Liv now, which I'm extremely happy for her because she put the work in. She developed tremendously. Now I just need them to do a little bit more with Raquel. Raquel as a heel is perfect, but we said this like last episode. They got her looking like Diesel in the 90s. I need her to be that badass heel she was with Dakota Kai in NXT. That's the heel I loved and fell in love with. Because she's got the size. You can book her like you booked Rhea in the sense of like just the badass, not having the sense of the wins. So, because her and Rhea is instant chemistry. That's an instant money match if you book her correctly, her as in Raquel. So, all in all, what are your thoughts on Liv beating Jade tonight?
I don't understand it.
Really?
Because in my opinion, we've been waiting so long for Jade. This is her first match back. She has to win it. If she's gonna lose her first match, I'd rather it be the Naomi match, so Naomi could get all that heat and elevate. Because this did nothing for Liv Morgan, in my opinion. Because we know they're high on Liv. She's multiple time champion. She's done hers. You know? So I just don't understand it. But I guess it shouldn't matter. No, seeing that obviously she's gonna fight Naomi at Mania, it looks like. And she's gonna beat her. So people are gonna forget about that loss she just took from Liv Morgan a couple weeks before.
That's kind of
just focus on that. But
that was where my premise came from. Like my initial thought was like, okay, Jade lost. But then I thought about it to what you just said. It's like, well, they're not going to remember this loss because she's going to most likely win the program with her and Naomi. Which, another thing, I think they're flopping right now. And I think they can easily book Naomi and Nia Jax to be one of the most dominant tag teams, heel tag teams in the company. Off of strip for the bloodline. You can easily just use the bloodline tag on them. And I forget their names. They're twin sisters. I think they're part of the Fatu lineage, or the Tungans, but either or, they can easily get signed, build them up, on NXT for a small program like you did with Solo, and they have a dominant 4 women that you can like build upon. So that's future thinking. I'm thinking down the line on things, but I feel like they can definitely utilize Naomi a lot more in this hill run post Mania, and I hope they do. I believe they're going to set up Jade in this program against Naomi just to catapult her for the Bianca feud. Once Bianca Naomi, damn Ty, I don't know because I think Naomi might be in a solo predicament because she's going to lose the program against Naomi. Jade. We assume, but then if her and Bianca have a program, which it's inedible, it seems like she's not winning that either. So I don't know what they're doing with their heels right now, but yeah, it's not looking too good.
Yeah, the best bet is, like I said, Fatu and the Tongans pretty much be that threat of a faction. You feel me? And they go get Nia Jax and Naomi as a women's tag team, like a women's pair, to walk around with them. You know, because I think that's all that's gonna lead to, bro. We're gonna eventually get the original bloodline back together, teaming up. Um, Against Fatu and the Tongans. I believe we're gonna get that. Eventually down the line because they're gonna slow build it. But that's a good way to slow build it. Just have Naomi just be on her own. No one's like she doesn't know where to turn. Have her on separate brands of her mans. I don't know, man. They could do so much with it. But I agree. They kind of botched this booking. Especially they could have did so much more. I think the booking should have revolved around the world title.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have meant way more rather than seeing it like, oh, Bianca's in the world title. All right, so let's like separate her from this feud, pretty much.
So that's one of the things I think Triple H and the others is doing. I think to your point, I think that's going to happen with the title being in the bigger picture for that program post Mania. Because I assume unless they have Io keep the belt, I feel like Bianca wins it at Mania, and then that whole summer is what's going to be around Bianca, Naomi, Jade. And like you said, like we agree, I think adding Nia Jax to the feud because she's already on Raw will be a perfect way to kind of weather the storm. Because I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind seeing the summer program where a heel Naomi wins the women's heavyweight title, and Nia Jax is there to kind of like just being that bodyguard, or you can have a female power trip and have Nia Jax get the women's IC title. Because one thing I will say, since she came back, she has elevated the belt when she was on SmackDown, winning the Queen of the Ring and things like that. So I think she can elevate the mid-card title on Raw as well. And then you could run the Nia and Lyra feud back up from the Queen of the Ring. You could tell that story. So they have options. All in all, I think they're in a good spot for it, but time will tell. I'm going to give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because we felt like this with the whole Cody, what they're doing with Cody, Cena feud, and they kind of finally starting to click on all cylinders. So I'll give them some grace. Last thing we'll talk about for this Friday show is the promo between Charlotte and Tiffy. It was a really good spot. Tiffy got cooked though. Like 3-0 URL. Don DeMarco took Jack Boy's chain and threw it to the fans by John. Like, it was bad to me. Shout out to Jack Boy. That's one of my favorites anyway in the battle rap scene. No disrespect. But nonetheless, yeah, I think Charlotte just showed her experience on that promo. I feel like Tiffy was kind of getting stuck on words, not really knowing where to kind of navigate off of what Charlotte was saying too much. But if you got a chance to see the promos earlier, what was your thoughts on overall and the build-up for the match?
Yeah, I thought like you said, the promo from Charlotte was good. Tiffy, but I think, like I said before Charlotte returned, the number one thing I didn't want was them to book this feud so quickly. Why? Because not only are fans seeing Charlotte, someone that they haven't seen in a long time, they're also seeing Tiffy, who pretty much is the other blonde.
Yeah,
like, like they pretty much booked her so wrong that, and I still believe Charlotte's winning this match. Nothing so far has pointed me in that direction that Tiffy's winning this match. And I think it sucks because she pretty much just won that belt. Should
yeah,
have
yeah.
gave her time, but it just seems like they. I don't think the build up's gonna get better than this. This is pretty much the peak. That promo that you saw, that's gonna be the peak of it. Because they already did the brawls. So any more brawls that aren't gonna really do any effect.
And you see how they botched the moonsault twice last week.
Yeah. So
Honestly, I think the one on the turnbuckle is worse because you can literally vividly see she was nowhere near Charlotte. At least the one on the stage was a little better. You couldn't really tell. You can tell.
yeah, because there was a lot of people on the stage.
Yeah, I mean, to the blind eye, you can tell she missed her, but it wasn't as glaring as it was with the turnbuckle spot. But I agree with everything you said. With the promo, the build up, I think the one saving grace is I think the match is going to be phenomenal. Charlotte can still go in the ring. She clearly not the same Charlotte she was, but she got enough in the tank to still put on a classic caliber match. And I think Tiffy can go stride for stride with her in the ring. Now, it's just, can she tell the ring psychology like Charlotte can? Or like how Rhea did the second time around. Because the ring psychology Rhea had, and I think it was WrestleMania 38 or 37, where they first met. Rhea had a good match, but you could tell the psychology of her in the ring was still not where it needed to be yet. And it was there clearly in WrestleMania 39, its main event. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think Tiffy and Charlotte can have a similar dance that Rhea and Charlotte did in the first go around. So I'm excited for the match itself. Did I want it this soon? No. But in hindsight, I'd much rather have them in the program than have Charlotte on the Raw program with Rhea or Io. Like, I think what they're doing with the heavyweight title for the women's is perfect. Glad they didn't have Charlotte nowhere near it. Keep her over here with Tiffy. So, all in all, I think we could be good. Next, we're gonna talk about Teenage Sacrifice, the recap. But before we do that, we're gonna get into this WrestleMania main event. We're gonna see if we can name all the main events WrestleMania from 1 to 37. I think we get 5 minutes to do it. So let me click retake on the quiz. I wish you can pause. Oh, you can pause the time. There we go. Boom. All right, I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna try to see if we can name all these. And if you're watching in the comments, if you know any of the main events, drop it in the comment section. But our goal is under 6 minutes because that's the time we have.
Yeah, we're gonna struggle. So drop some comments.
I think we got this. I'm good. I'm comfortable with it because I know some of the, like you said, you know, some of the 90s. I mean, the 2000s. I know a good amount of the 90s, but I think we're gonna be good.
So now, is it the main event matchup itself, or the participants?
The participants in the main event.
Okay, so the participants in the main event.
We only got 2 pauses left. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get started. Let me just make sure everything's good.
Let's get the easy ones out the way first. So Rock.
Yeah, The Rock for sure. Mr. T, I remember that. That was obvious, Mr. T.
Put Hogan. You got to get Hogan out the way. Yeah, let's do the people that main evented the most.
Wait, hold on. WrestleMania 1 was Hogan and T was the teammates. It was Piper and Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I remember that. I can't wait. He's actually in the game this year. Paul Ordenoff. I botched his last name. My apologies. Mr. Wonderful, I'll say. How do you spell his last name, though? O-R-N Orndorff. Is it like this? No. O-R-D. No. Is it O-R-N-D? No.
All right, we'll come back to that.
We'll come back
to that.
yeah.
We'll come back to that.
Undertaker.
Yeah,
Sure.
Taker.
Brock. Lawrence Taylor. That wasn't appeasing. But he went against WrestleMania 11. Was it King Kong Bundy or Bam Bam Bigelow? King Kong Bundy WrestleMania 2. Bam Bam Bigelow then.
It's Bam.
There we go.
All right. Get John Cena out the way.
I'm gonna scroll down a little bit so people can see.
Get Shawn Michaels out the way because I know he main evented.
Benoit, obviously one of my favorite main events. Eddie Guerrero. No, I'll come back to Eddie. I gotta remember how to spell his last name. You said
Kurt Angle.
Shawn Michaels. Oh, you gotta swap this. Kurt Angle. Roman. Obviously, you gotta get Roman out the way.
Yeah, then put Seth Rollins.
I was gonna say Seth should count. Oh, who can forget this one? The Miz.
Yeah. No, we ain't gonna forget that.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Randy Savage.
Yep. Daniel Bryan. Batista.
I gotta check the chat real quick because I'm not on the screen. See if anyone commented. Batista, Daniel Bryan. I just had one before that. Damn it. Who was it? Oh, Steve Austin. That wasn't who I had, but it was someone else I was thinking about. Let me check to see if we have any comment. No. Okay. Let's move right along. Sid, Psycho Sid, of course.
Yes, Sid.
Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Triple H was the one I was thinking about.
Oh yeah, this is a lot.
I was like, I knew I was trying to figure out.
Edge. I think Edge.
Yep. Undertaker already. Chris Jericho, WrestleMania.
Yep.
16. Mick Foley, because that was the Fatal 4-Way.
Mm-hmm. Smart man. All right. Let's get 30.
Andre the Giant, obviously.
Yeah. All right.
WrestleMania 4. Oh, that was a tournament. God, I actually rewatched this. I don't know why I did this to myself.
Savage versus
DiBiase.
Yep.
DiBiase. That was who it was. How you spell DiBiase? No. D-I-I-B-I? Yes. There we go. I'm gonna try Paul again. I want to get this out the way. O-R-N. Damn, what was it? D. Orndorff. Is it?
Yokozuna.
Oh, Yokozuna. Yeah, that's why I put 2P. There we go. Paul's out the way. Yokozuna. Dang,
he did it twice. Yep.
Oh, Sergeant Slaughter.
Yep.
Gotta get these 90s out the way.
Damn, 35.
Ultimate Warrior. That was the one I was trying to think about. For the both belts. All right, so let's scroll. We're about to have just a minute. Okay, so we got pretty much the 90s out the way. So now we got the most recent stuff. This should be easy. Okay, where we're at? 35. 35 is easy. Becky Lynch.
Yep, Becky.
Charlotte.
Ronda Rousey, right?
Yep. I gotta come back to her. Ronda Rousey. Charlotte.
H-L-O-L-O-T-T.
Oh, I gotta put the whole
T-T-E. Yeah, nah, you should be fine. Take the L out. Take the L out. Right there.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
36.
Drew
Oh,
McIntyre.
this was AJ Styles. Well, didn't we already put Undertaker though? Why didn't it pop up?
Nakamura.
Oh, damn. I got to know how to spell that one. Shit. Oh, wait.
But Nakamura. I think it
Kevin.
should work. Yeah, Kevin Owens. Then.
We was only down 4. We knew it though. We ran out of time.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre.
We already Shinsuke didn't main event.
Oh yeah, because it's right there. Now
So we had
Kevin
Drew, and
Undertaker.
I knew Bianca and
Yeah,
Sasha.
Drew, Bianca, Sasha. Yeah.
So we missed 3. Not bad at all. I think honestly we would have got it if I didn't mess up on Paul Orndorff's name earlier.
It was out there trying to spell Paul Orndorff.
That name, boy. Not bad though. 6 minutes, we got 88 out of 91. Not bad at all. All right, I think we good on that. They got some other ones on here too, though. They got like the Hall of Fame inductees, which I'm not doing that because I ain't ready for that. They had the Royal Rumble entrance for the 2025 or 2025. That wouldn't have been bad. But yo, they had every wrestler to compete in WrestleMania. Yeah, nah. I will say next time though, we might try to name all Intercontinental Champions. Because they have that. I think we can do that.
Yeah, that's possible.
I think we can do our thing with that. All right. So last but not least for share screen, we're gonna do this Jeopardy. See who can. I don't know the answers, so we're going to just assume, but we'll make it work. I'll let you go first, and then we could talk about TNA Sacrifice as we do the Jeopardy. So TNA Sacrifice was a good success, obviously. Moose and Jeff had a great ladder match. I like that match a lot. The System had that main event. You had Dolph Ziggler turn heel and beat up Matt Hardy in the cage. I think that was a nice touch. But overall, what was your thoughts on the Sacrifice show? Like
I'm gonna be quite honest. I only like the Moose and Jeff Hardy match. Everything, yeah.
Was it a the women's knockout match? I think it was solid.
Nah, it was solid. It was solid. I would say this. Shout out to Cora Jade because she's jobbing in like 3 different shows right now.
Now they got Gigi Dolan over there, JC Jane, Tatum back there. They got everybody over there. They got
that was a highlight. Whatever is going on with Tessa Blanchard, I don't know. I don't. You
don't like your boo with the entrance, Boricua. You don't like that? You like that? No, you're not buying what I'm selling. I understand. I meant to talk to Mike about that in the personal chat, but I forgot because I forgot what I was doing. I was multitasking a lot that day of the show. But her match with I can't pronounce her TNA name, but her name when the rest WWE was Xia Li. I think that was a good match they had. It was solid overall. I think. How do you feel about Masha as the knockout champion? Overall, her work so far. I think she's been pretty solid. I don't think they have a legit. The problem I have with her run is kind of what they got with Gunther. Like she's putting on good matches, but they don't have a legit. In this case, a heel for her that she can go up against in the company. Because Tesla, by all purposes, would be that heel, but also for reasons outside of the ring, no one's getting behind that. So it's like they don't really have one. Like, now she's about to feud with JC Jane. Like I guess. But how would you feel about her run so far?
I mean, they're doing a good job. How she's presented, but the problem is, like you said, if you're gonna bring in these women from WWE, you gotta get some better names. like get some more convincing names so that people who are fans of just WWE trying to get into TNA, you feel me? Sees that person and sees the TNA knockout champion beat her. That's way better. Like I said, Cora Jade's jobbing on 3 different shows. So I don't care about her beating Cora Jade. Good match, but I don't care about that. And I wouldn't care about a program with her and Jesse Jane. Because I feel like if you're gonna build it up to where we're getting some big name from WWE to come challenge from the knockouts, that's fine. But if you're just gonna send these send women from NXT, I don't know. I don't know.
So hear me out.
Unless Stephanie Vakir goes over there and try to go
He's not
become
gonna
a
lose.
belt collector, you
Yeah.
know.
But hear me out. So, one of the ways they can fix this problem is if they book the superstars properly. I think they fumbled the bag with JC because she's okay in the ring. Her character work needs some improvement still. She's like floating around there. I feel where they dropped the bag with her is post Gigi Dolan. Like her and Gigi, when they did that split, chef's kiss, and they was putting on some hella matches. Like I love almost every match they did for the most part. My problem is after that they kind of did nothing with her, and then they threw her into a most people will call it a Timo version of Fatal Attraction.
Pretty
but
much.
but at the same time, it's like you're not doing anything with her. Like I honestly would rather see Fallon Henley in that spot against Masha because I think she's really good. I think giving her more opportunity, she can kind of blow up and blossom into that. But at the same time, all right, JC, they're putting you in this spot for a reason because obviously they want to give you some more ring rep and get you some more notoriety. Also because they believe in you. And for all purposes, I think she can capitalize on this opportunity. It's just how the story's gonna be told. That's the biggest thing. I feel like for her and Masha, they gotta have like a stipulation match. Now, if JC could tell a really good match and a regular pinfall match, then they might have something here. But all in all, I think we all agree this is just both brands scouting on who they want to add to their roster at some point if they need to. Like I think JC could do really well on TNA if she was a TNA solo star. I think she could do really well over there. Same for I think Fallon would be perfect for us on the mid card. But I'm loving what I'm seeing from TNA overall. Since we're already on the women's for the NXT, I want to get into that in a second. But I love this past segment they had with the TNA Knockouts champions with the tag teams. You got Ash by Elegance with her little scream, and they got Gigi and all of them involved. I love that little setup. It's giving them more TV time, and I love that. Now, as far as NXT goes, I love what they're doing with Jada. I hope she wins the mid-card title because she's not beating Stephanie next week for the NXT championship. That's not happening. I would love it to, but we all know she's not dropping that belt. I feel like if anything, she might drop the North American title next week to Fallon before she drops the NXT title anytime soon. But I just love what they're doing with that overall. I'll let you take it away if you have any thoughts on that.
Well, like we said when the news pretty much broke out, I told everyone, I'm like, the only way if you pretty much make this double champion work if she's out here defending it multiple times and she's defending it separately, because that just makes you love the character even more. This is a fighting champion defending the belt whenever, like, yo, what belt you want to challenge for? I own that. We fighting next week. Like, I think they can build into it. So I don't want her to lose, but I want to see her pretty much like the story be her overworking herself, to where she slips up, loses a belt. Then we pretty much get a real heel turn when she loses that one belt.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, we know Julia is gonna come back, and
You think Julia turns heel?
no, I think Julia's comeback match has to be versus Stephanie versus the title, or for the title.
I think
Right.
I think she turns heel.
Julia turning heel. I mean, that's if you wanna just like make a twist, I can see that, but no, I mean Stephanie pretty much can be a better heel. I think Julia should have been that like Bailey, for NXT, where she's like the heart of NXT. I think that.
The beauty with both women is I can see them doing both sides. Like the gimmick itself for Stephanie speaks for itself. It gives off the heel look. I
Well,
think
yeah,
I think you can do that badass Julia heel turn too, and especially if you, like I mentioned earlier in the show, if you put the whole Paul Heyman aspect to it too. But either decision you make, whether you turn her heel or Stephanie heel, I think it's money either way.
yeah. It depends. It depends how long you think they're staying in NXT.
That's true.
If they're in NXT for a couple more years, then yeah, I could see that. You're gonna have both of them be heels, obviously separate times. You know, pretty much showed all the layers to their skills and pretty much show you how good of workers they are. But I think they're getting called up pretty quick. So I think they're gonna pretty much end the story to where it's like Stephanie loses one belt, pretty much turns pretty like a pretty big heel. Julia eventually comes back, takes the belt. Then you have probably Stephanie debut earlier, chill on the main roster, but then have her debut on the same brand as Stephanie on the main roster. I think it'll be a funny pairing to have them pretty much like sync their careers together. Um, and I think they're doing amazing. But there's a lot of women in NXT to where the point they kind of really don't need to be there for so long. You could give other women some shine.
Could have easily just put her into the money in the mid cards. But let's get into this Jeopardy, man. I'm gonna let you go first. As you see, they all I picked it up. I just picked this one randomly on Jeopardy Labs. Shout out to Jeopardy Labs website. I don't know how relevant this is, so answer with caution. And obviously, whoever made this just put WWE 1 through 5, not even a detailed theme. So I'll let you do the honors and pick the first one.
Let me do one of these 300s so I can test to see how easy or how hard the 500s are.
Which one do you want?
I mean, it doesn't tell you what category, so I don't really care.
All right, Russ, that'll be 1 for 300. What two people are going to be fighting for the undisputed title at the Royal Rumble? See, again, this is
what year?
I hate when people. I don't understand how people be making these and not make this like relevant. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Damn, I'm kind of lost.
I feel like, and we can still if you want. So if you're not sure, I can go. But I feel like I know what this is.
I feel like, damn, what two people? Undisputed title at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, you could steal this one. So I'm like, damn.
I'm gonna go Reigns and.
I know it has to be Reigns or someone.
If it's not Reigns and Rollins, it has to be Reigns and Kevin. See, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm like, bro, it had to be somebody.
I took
Roman Reigns versus somebody.
I took Rollins first, so I won't give myself the points. I'm gonna go 5 for 100. Oh,
Okay.
Claymore. Yeah, Claymore.
Give
I want to
me
say Glasgow Kiss. That's why I had to think about it. Like, okay, no, it's Claymore.
200.
Who is the WWE Undisputed Tag Champions? Damn. So okay, I'm getting a sense of what year this is taking place now. I gotta make sure my fantasy lineup is good because I'm in the semi.
So what's that? The Usos?
That's your final answer.
I'm
If you got
I'm
Usos,
assuming.
I'm going Kevin and Sammy. Usos, okay.
That's what I'm assuming. I'm
I'm going
guessing.
300 pedigree. That's
Okay.
300.
Okay, so that row. So I'm guessing that row is finisher. So give me that for 500.
Oh my god,
The bro kick, bro.
they even
And
spelled
they spelled it wrong.
wrong. What is this? What is this, bro? Where I get to see my barber right after this because I've been trying to get rid of this front taper since I got my hair braided last night. So as soon as we finish up, I'm definitely going right to my barber. But shout out to my barber if you in Boston, Alex the barber. Cheap plug. Anyway, I'm going with 4 for 500. What type of animal comes out with Ricky the dragon? Oh, I guess still a dragon. Komodo dragon.
Are we sure?
It's on you. My fancy lineup is all set for basketball. Word.
Let me.
I might play Mike in a championship in basketball too. If I do, I gotta whoop his ass, bro. I gotta get my get back.
He about to beat you again.
Hell no.
Different sport.
He might actually play.
Give me 400 in the middle. That's good. Yeah.
400 in the middle or right here? All right.
Yeah, right there. AJ Styles.
All right, bro. Who made it? The Miz. The Miz. Like, what is this? I wanted to be challenged.
I feel like the phenomenal one's more hard.
You could have did the IC titles on the spot. If that was the case. All right. It's on you. Which one?
This is like some third grade WWE
Yeah, I'm not impressed.
Jeopardy. Let me get 500.
Oh, that's easy.
Roman Reigns.
I'm taking this one. Who in the Elimination Chamber got the opportunity to face Austin Theory for the U.S. title on Raw?
See, they're too specific.
Was this Montez Ford? No, it wasn't Montez Ford. Because he had the showing, but he didn't win it. Trying to remember. We just did Elimination Chamber tier list too. So I'm trying to remember who else was in that match. I'm gonna stick with Montez. I can't think of nobody else. You got one that you want to steal?
Who won the elimination match and got the opportunity to face Austin Theory for the U.S. title on Raw? Well, I'm assuming this was before the Rumble, so it couldn't been a super big name. So I'm gonna go with like R-Truth.
It was Bobby Lashley. Okay, that makes sense now. I knew it was an R-Truth because I'm like he wasn't in the chamber, but
It says elimination match, so it didn't even
Oh,
say
it's a
chamber.
match?
Yeah, and I was confused.
Oh, I'm mad you smart by staying quiet because I'm okay carrying on to like Elimination Chamber, and it wasn't even that. Okay, that threw me off. All right, it's back on you.
Yeah, let me get that last row for 400.
Of course,
Get these ones.
man. We're not even gonna waste time on that.
I was gonna say that after you, bro. You would have won.
Same thing. Same thing. They went from W to the whole kid friendly. That's all. I'm going 4 for 400. What type of animal would the Undertaker fit? The fuck? What type of question is this? Hey yo, bro, what you on? Like what? What type of animal would the Undertaker fit? Fam, what animal? What? I don't know, a Black Panther or something? The hell? Like, nah, bro. No way they did this to me. You gotta guess. I'm staying with Black Panther.
I'm gonna go with what type of animal would the Undertaker fit?
There's no way they were serious with this question.
A bear.
I was thinking that a black bear. I'm not gonna lie. Fucking crow. What is this, Sting?
Wait.
Sting would fit that better. But I get it though. Crow, dead man. Okay, I get it. All right. Still, this.
Now I get the question.
This was still a bad question, but I get it. Because
what type of animal would? It should have been what type of animal would fit the Undertaker.
Yeah, I get it, but it's like no. This would have been like Sting used to do
like Undertaker fit.
Sting used to literally do the whole crow thing, and then Dead Man, Jeepers Creepers. I kind of connected the two because of the hat. I'm like, all right, whatever. Next, because that just pissed me off, low key. So on you.
Let me get one of those 400s.
Who holds the record for the longest title hold in WWE? That's easy. If they're actually going to be consistent with this should be an easy answer.
The longest title holds Bruno Sammartino.
Fuck, man. Why did you have to know ball? What?
I don't know ball. But you didn't let me finish, Bob. But what are we talking? Like WWE?
They just said in WWE, but Bruno technically was WWE. So, I mean, was he WWF too?
Whatever. That's why I'm saying.
I don't
they're
know.
Going technically,
it's
Bruno, but if they're going post WWF or whatever,
I don't think Roman passed Bob Backlund in his reign, or did he?
Collectively, I believe so.
Because was it Pedro Morales on that list too? No, I think he passed Pedro. I know he didn't pass Hogan. No, he did pass Hogan actually. At 39, he passed Hogan, I think it was, or 40. He did pass. It was 40. He did pass Hogan. He didn't pass Bruno. I think I guess one was somebody else he didn't pass. But
I thought it was just Bruno.
Yeah, no one's touching Bruno. That's like Jerry Rice in receiving yards. That's like Bill Russell in championships. Wilt 100 points if you believe in it, or averaging 15.5. Like that's some anomaly that's never going to be touched unless you play the video game. And even that don't even keep track. WWE 2K should do that. Put records in like that. Like
they used to keep track, then they stopped.
Yeah. Right, I'm gonna go with the last 400. I need to catch up. Gunther. Thank you. Close the gap right there. Back to you.
Yeah, 300.
Damn, all the easy ones just left. Oh. I don't know. I don't know about this one.
These titles change so often, bro.
I'm really thinking like, okay, I know what era we're kind of catering to. So now I'm really trying to think who's the champions at that time. And it's starting to lose me because I can't remember.
I think it was probably Roman's champion at this time. Usos are champions. Gunther's Intercontinental champion. But he did hold it for a while. Damn.
I'm trying to think who did this. What year was that? I'm not gonna say it because I ain't give you no hints. But I'm trying to think what year was this when they did this? Because that is a tag team I'm really thinking about saying.
Damn. I'm gonna go with.
Now that was too soon. It could have been those two. Damn, I don't know this one. This will be perfect because I could take the lead off of this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. I don't even know.
You forfeiting this one?
I'm gonna go Io Sky, Kyrie Sane. I don't know.
Oh, that's actually a good. Okay, I'm gonna say the Kabuki Warriors. So Kari Sane and Asuka. Initially, I was thinking about Bianca and Jay when they unified the titles. So I was actually thinking Unholy Union. But let's see.
Yeah, damage control.
But that gotta be more specific because you said Kyrie and Io. Whatever.
Yeah, with Bailey. I mean,
yeah,
I just couldn't remember their name. I don't know.
I'll give you the points for that. Let's go here. Rattlesnake. Yeah, that's easy. All right. Hopefully, some challenges I could catch up.
Listen, I'm gonna take these 100s off the board so we could get interested.
Who has the record for the most WWE championships won in wrestling history?
Ric Flair. All right, bro. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. They're rewriting history in front of our eyes, bro. What's going on?
Randy Orton.
And that's a 300 question.
Randy Orton.
You'll get out
At
of
least you
here.
didn't get what animal would pick the Undertaker for 400. Like what?
Yeah, let me go 200.
Let's get this category out the way. Who has the record for the shortest pin in WWE? Ooh. Jono said.
I know the shortest pin at Mania. I know the quickest elimination in the Rumble, but I cannot tell you the record for the shortest pin. Because actually, hold on. The way they're thinking, I'm gonna say Daniel Bryan.
Fuck, that's what I was going with. I was gonna say Sheamus and Daniel Bryan at Mania. Natalia. First of all, I spelled Natalia's name wrong. I can't even remember the match, so I can't even argue that. Fair enough. Let's get.
I'm about to watch that today.
Okay, wait. This is a trick question because which finisher are we talking about? Talking about the curb stop or we talking about the pedigree? That's the real question. And I can't choose both, so it's like, damn, I'm gonna be mad as hell because like this is a preference thing. I'll go curb stop. Which one you want to go with? If I'm wrong,
it should be the curb stomp, but I'll take the pedigree.
Okay. It had me nervous because I'm just like I don't know what these people.
You get 200. Sheamus.
I should have just ticked off. I didn't know he said Sheamus.
Nah, I was joking. There was no way for me to catch up anyways. These are all about to be the most easiest ones.
What animal did mankind come out with? What animal did mankind come out with? Stuffed animal.
Oh, you don't know this? I should have.
Was it a bear? A stuffed bear? Teddy bear? That's my final answer. Stuffed teddy bear.
I'm going with stuffed raccoon.
A raccoon?
I don't know. All right, bro. I'm out of here, bro.
Like, I was going to say soccer, but man, that's not an animal, nigga. That's just a sock. Yo, what do we... Yo. Man. Like, then they gave me some of the... Yo, I'm clipping these because they gave me some of the craziest questions. Like, since when was a socko with his hand an animal? Like, okay, bro. Y'all got it. Wash my hands with it. I'm good. Back to you. I'm just going to give you...
Yeah, whatever. A rattlesnake. No, I'm joking. It's a snake.
Let's see. I'm going 3. Braun Strowman. And then last,
They didn't even spell among right.
they didn't spell Strowman right either.
Austin Theory.
Congratulations, whoever made this. You played yourself. But that's wrapping up the Jeopardy show. I got the final score of 2,700 to Ty's 2,500. But we are both winners because this list was mid. But it was fun and entertaining to do nonetheless. Shout out to whoever made this. Very entertaining. It has some questionable questions to say the least, but all in all, not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. All right. So that's going to wrap up today's episode. If you made this far, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on the recent shows, TNA Sacrifice, and some of the current buildups for the Mania to this point. And let us know who's your favorite superstar currently in each brand. So NXT, Raw, SmackDown. You see mine is in my name, so that's not really too hard to realize. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for the Grade A show. We're gonna be giving our All NBA team picks. We're gonna have our own selection of who we think is gonna be All NBA, first, second, and third team, as well as defense, first, second team. And then we're going to have it on the chart to see who's going to actually make our official list as the Grade A list. So we got a lot coming up. And then I believe we're going to have another show this weekend. But we'll double back. We'll let you guys know. Hope you guys have a great, restful weekend. Stay safe. Stay warm. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
You see my favorite wrestler? That's my name.
Yo. We're going to end the show on that note.